words he speaks are true. We're all humanary stew. We don't pledge allegiance to the Black Widow.
The horror that he'll bring, the horror of his sting, the unholiest of kings, the Black Widow.
Hello and welcome to the Spider's Parlor. I am the Spider. Today begins episode 1 of my Nightmares Come True, the Deviant Discography of Alice Cooper series that I mentioned in the last episode. This series will focus on the entire career from Pretties for You all the way to last year's Along Came a Spider. The series will culminate with me going to the first two shows of Alice Cooper's brand new theatrical production called The Theater of Death, which he promises to be the scariest and goriest and bloodiest and everything that you could possibly imagine show of his that he's done in 40 plus years of a career. Further, he says that much like myself, we've all predicted kind of the pattern of how his shows have gone the last several years, but he promises to throw the rule book out and turn the whole thing upside down. I, for one, cannot wait to see these. I will do my best to cover as much of the show as I can. You'll get my reviews, hopefully some still shots, some whatever I can do. And who knows, since I've had a history of meeting the man and his wife Cheryl, and I've met Sonora, I've yet to meet Calico and Dash. At these, who knows, I might see him again. I've now met Alice Cooper 3 times. I've met his wife twice. Renfield was responsible, may he rest in peace, for the first showing. But as time goes on, we will cover things of that nature. But tonight, we're going to get started with the first 2 albums of Alice's career. The first one and the second one were both on Frank Zappa's Straight Records, which would eventually be swallowed up by Warner Brothers. But the very first album is called Pretties for You. And both albums and its follow-up, Easy Action, are very psychedelic in sound. The world wasn't ready for something like these. They were both, unfortunately, commercial failures. As the story goes, Alice, as he always tells it, says that they had a handle on the theatrics, they just weren't the best at this point musically. Bob Ezrin hadn't showed up yet, their longtime producer. Shep Gordon had already stepped into the picture, but, he was trying to get them together, and it just at this point it just wasn't working. The world wasn't ready for something like this. I mean, they were scary looking, and the story goes that at the Cheetah, Alice opened for the Doors, and when you have a massive crowd of people that have come to see the Doors, to drive them out of the building with 2 songs, they had never seen anything like it, was amazing. So the idea behind it was, let's see if we can take that reaction and reverse it and bring them into it. Then they would be a success. Pretties for You and Easy Action are, like I said, very psychedelic in sound, but with songs like this, you don't have, unfortunately, that song that's going to define them yet. But there are a few gems on here I love. I love Levity Ball. I love Reflected and Earwigs to Eternity, because that was the name of their band in high school when they tried out for the Letterman's talent show. They parodied the Beatles and called themselves the Earwigs. But I have to say, 10 Minutes Before the Worm, that's another one. He actually played that on his radio show Nights with Alice Cooper. Not terribly too long ago, was one of his lost hits. And I was shocked. I mean, he never plays anything from this. These albums are just, almost forgotten gems, but they are the first Alice Cooper albums, and Easy Action follows in the same vein. Refrigerator Heaven, that's a good one on here. So is Mr. and Ms. Demeanor. Those 2 are definitely standouts for me. Refrigerator Heaven ended up being mentioned later on in Cold Ethel, in the line where Alice goes, "If I live till I'm 97, you'll still be living in Refrigerator Heaven." A little homage to his past. But yes, I'm not going to review these as much as I will the other ones, starting with Love It to Death, which was the very next album they did. That'll be for the next episode of Spider's Parlor. But I just kind of want to say for a moment that this is the moment for my show that I've been waiting to do. Anyone who knows me, or at least has seen my videos, knows how much I love Alice Cooper. He's just such a genius and so ahead of his time. And, you know, look at this. The man is 61 years old, and he is still going out there. He's not just doing a rehash of his old, top, 40 hits. No. He's going out there, he's given us new albums. Since 2000, he has produced 5 new albums. He's got, brand new shows. I mean, he's putting a lot of effort into this, Theater of Death tour, from what I've heard. And I frankly cannot wait to see it. This may be the show that I've been waiting for, because Along Came a Spider is probably one of the best things he's done in years. I love it. I mean, it's just amazing. And it's the concept that gets me more than anything, my favorite song from it and everything else. But we will discuss all that later as we get to Along Came a Spider. But we've got a while. But as I said, these are hard to find gems. If you can, they recently reissued them, both Pretties for You and Easy Action, within the last year. If I were you, hunt them down. They are worth getting. They're, like I said, forgotten to a lot of people, but there's something to be said about this. It's nice to see how Alice transitioned from the psychedelic sound to his mainstream, what became traditional Cooper. But that all starts with Warner Brothers and Love It to Death, and that will be for the next time. So tonight I will, and if you're wondering where Steven is, he's here, but he's taking a break because he knows that his time to shine is coming up on Welcome to My Nightmare. But you'll have to find out what that means. So I leave you with this little lyric from Levity Ball. I got my invitation to the annual Levity Ball. Okay, I'm a horrible singer, but it's okay. Nonetheless, prepare for the madness. The shock master of rock is here, and he's not going anywhere. Until next time, I guess we'll love it to death.
I got my invitation to the annual Levity Ball. See the location.